Hello, everyone. Weird Girls Gets Glory. Oh, I lost my arm in that. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to Wizards of the Coast for sponsoring this season. You're the best. Also, thank you to Johannes Plenio at coolfreepix.com for some of our awesome background images. So let's all introduce ourselves. I'm Kim Doherty, and I play Daisy Gamwich, your changeling artificer.
Hi, I'm Erica Fermina, and I play Leaf, your goblin druid.
I'm Alice Gretchen, and I play Velara Nailo, your centaur bard.
Hi everyone, I'm Kelly Lynn D'Angelo, and I play Jacques de Coeur Giant, your furball cleric.
Hi, I'm Kellen Coleman, and I play Rufus Ripard, your rock gnome wizard.
And I'm Rachel Seeley, and I play your DM. Quick thank you to James RPG for my background. So who thinks that they can do a recap and gain advantage? A little meta. I did give you a recap before this, so this should be easy.
If no one else is gonna volunteer,
do it. And make sure you write it down so you can use it.
I know, I wrote down my advantage and then I never used it, because I don't think I made any... I don't think my rolls were that poor last time. Anyway. So we went into that arena. That was episode 2. Episode 3 was that we had to prove ourselves to Tamsin by finding these bandits. They wear masks. Their robberies took place on the east side. They are targeting refugees, which is messed up. There are 3 to 5 bandits. They took nothing expensive because we went around and we interviewed people and interrogated, you know. Mm-hmm. They didn't ever take anything like wildly expensive. It was always like sentimental things, which was interesting. And I have some of the lists of things that they stole. I don't know if you want that. Then we decided to do a stakeout. And we walked around the like rich neighborhood, and we started talking to this gross old rich couple, or only one of them was old, this gross rich couple. They were very rude. And then I peeked in their window, and they had nothing in their house. And there was smoke coming up from underneath the fireplace. Not from the fireplace, but underneath it, which was suspicious. So we camped out. Rufus had a squirrel to keep an eye on them. And then we broke in at night, and we went down the stairs. We moved the thing, went down the stairs, and the lady was a succubus. And the old man was like throwing stuff in a bonfire. And we left off mid-battle after they conjured 3 imps from the flames. In fact.
Yep.
Well done, Erica.
Well
Thanks.
done. So make sure you write down. You have advantage. Don't forget to use it, because I will forget.
I might
for sure
not forget this time.
Get a highlighter and highlight it. So, when we last left off, you snuck into their house, you pried up that giant marble tile in front of the fireplace that you saw the smoke coming from, you discovered a very narrow little staircase going down, and you found yourselves in a giant cavern after following that staircase. It's a big lake, there's a floating dock in the center, and it kind of disappears into another tunnel. But more importantly, you found that old man, and you found his creepy girlfriend, who turned out to be a succubus, and we are in the middle of that fight. They just summoned some imps. They appeared on a couple of the corners of this giant dock, but there's also one on a small floating platform out in the water, if you'll remember. We are at the top of the round, and it is her turn. The succubus, Velara, because you are staring eye to eye, smiles, and even with her changed facade, she's still so beautiful. I need you to make a DC saving throw for wisdom.
Okay.
And tell me what you get.
And do we have some sort of help with wisdom? Do we still have Beacon of Hope?
Emboldening and Beacon of Hope. So if it's a wisdom, you get advantage.
Okay, cool. So they were both 18.
All right. So she tries to look deep in your eyes, and seeing that you just rebuff her, she hisses right in your face, and you see these rows of sharp fangs. And her canines are a little bit longer than the rest. She's very frustrated. But also on her turn, she's going to give this up and just slash from below. So she is going to roll to hit. Well, that's a nat 1. So she attempts to strike you. She gets a finger caught underneath. You're wearing plate armor on the top?
What am I wearing? No, I think it's
Just
I think
leathers?
is it chain? I think it's just leathers. Studded leather. Studded leather.
So she gets one of her nails caught underneath a little chain in your chainmail. She does 2 points of damage to herself because that was a 1. She's going to back up a little bit and just hiss at you after that. All right. Daisy.
I always hiss back.
Perfect. I love it. A hissing horse. It's great. Daisy, what would you like to do on your turn?
I'm going to try something different.
Okay, now's the time.
So Daisy puts her goggles on, her glasses, and she says, "Hey, you," to the succubus and the man.
Mm-hmm.
They both turn to her, and she's going to cast Charm Person on both of them.
On both? Okay.
With her eyes of charming glasses. And
Okay.
they both roll with advantage, unfortunately, because we're in battle. But
Mm-hmm.
let's see what happens.
Okay. And this is a wisdom?
Wisdom, yeah.
So that's a 15 for the succubus.
She fails.
God. Yeah, that's an 8 for the dude.
That's with advantage.
That's with advantage.
Okay, so I have them both charmed. I've never charmed a person before. Let's see what
You've charmed the succubus. Oh my gosh, I love it.
she says. Daisy says, "Two can play at this game, you succubus." And then if it fails, it is charmed by you until the spell ends or until you or your companions do anything harmful to it. The charmed creature regards you as a friendly acquaintance. When the spell ends, the creature knows it was charmed by you. Okay.
We are sorry, we are still in initiative because you do have those 3 imps who are still here.
Oh yes. Okay. So charming a person in battle
Mhm.
means I'm gonna say, "Don't harm my friends."
Okay. If they take any damage, they will pop out of it.
Yes. And I'll say to my friends, "Leave them alone, they're charmed." The imps.
So you all hear this.
Bravo.
The succubus and the man, Friedrich, they both look, they're standing there with this blank expression on their face. And you can see the woman's mouth is open just a little bit slightly, and she looks a little confused, but she's not moving. She's just standing there now with her wings down.
So question,
Yeah.
it would be like an action to be like, go in the corner and
Yeah.
tie up. Okay.
Yeah.
So I've done what I can do. Unless
Yeah. What was your, so you, with Charm Person, you can cast it and then I think you get 1 command with that. What was your command? Was it stop fighting?
my command was, to leave
Okay.
leave my friends alone.
So that's the 1 command you get with this action. So
Okay.
with whatever next action you have, you can command them to do something else.
Okay.
This fight is going a lot faster than I anticipated, and I'm frankly thrilled. All right. So we still have 3 imps. There's 1 on either side of the man, and there's 1 behind him on a platform in the middle of the lake. Rufus, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
So wait, I can't really do anything to them because if I do, they're gonna snap out of it.
Yeah, Rufus, you would know this. Any damage taken to the man and the succubus and they would snap out of their charm.
Okay, so the imps can be damaged.
Yes.
Let me ask this as Kellen.
Kellen.
Sorry. If I have banishment,
Mm-hmm.
I banish the succubus.
If you failed, she would
Pop out.
lose her charm.
Right.
Ooh.
You can always try it.
Don't do it. Get those imps.
Don't do it. Get the imps.
You can do whatever you want, Kellen. It is Kellen time right now.
But I don't want to screw my team.
It's Kellen time right now. What does Kellen want to do?
Well, what could someone do besides that? Banishment.
I mean,
Tie them up.
not your DM talking, but you could attack the imps who are still in initiative.
Yeah, I want to. Well, I do. I think that I want to leave it to, the people who've had spells before. Maybe. So I'm gonna attack the imp. Yeah, I'm gonna attack the imps. There's 3 of them. Yes.
Yeah, so there's one on either side of the dude, and he's like 30 feet away from you, something like that. And then there's one on the other side of the dude, because he's on this big dock that's floating in, like right off the shore of this tiny little lake. And there's a little, it's like a pallet basically that's floating in the lake as well. There's a couple of them, but there's an imp on one of those. And that's about 35 feet away from you.
The one that's 30 feet, I'm gonna go for Witch Bolt.
Okay, just choose left or right.
Left.
Okay.
And I have to.
That one's a roll to hit.
Roll to hit.
I looked up which one was not a roll to hit, and I've already forgotten which one it was.
Which one do you mean? No, what Witch Bolt is.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I also add. 19.
That'll hit. Roll your damage.
Boom. I didn't tell you what level. So the one I'm looking at is 3rd level.
Okay, cool.
And I'm going to roll the dice on D&D Beyond. This is not a sponsor, but yes, it might.
I mean, we're all using
24.
24. So these imps that have been conjured are small. They maybe come up to your waist. Everyone else, I mean, especially for Shock, they're maybe the size of your hand. They're little guys. They're small, they're skinny, they're leathery, they have giant teeth and tiny little beady black eyes. You send a witch bolt flying at one of them.
And I just go, yeah! And also, the witch bolt is blue like my new lightning bolt.
Perfect. Oh, what an important thing that we forgot to go over in the recap.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You guys have some pretty cool new hair.
Leaf has.
I think it's because it was 2 episodes ago.
Yeah,
that
we
we
forgot
got our
about the
new
barber
disguises.
here. Oh, he was so good. I love him.
Leaf has a maroon mustache and eyebrows.
And a
Magenta.
little goatee.
And
It's
Ruben
magenta.
also put on a concert for like the whole
Really
block.
did. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. And I have
So
a mohawk with a blue lightning bolt. Anyway.
back into initiative. Any
24.
bonus actions?
I do not. I did not plan that part well of my character.
That's okay.
Only the 2-weapon fighting situation, which doesn't come into play here. So
Characters don't always need to have bonus actions.
no, I've one guy's
good.
burned up.
Hey, hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's a new song title.
Yeah.
Okay, it's your wyvern's turn. Leaf, what would you like your big old lizard boys to do? You got 2 of them, right?
Yeah, I've got 2 of them. They're gonna.
I believe you got them over to the dude.
Yes.
If I remember
so
correctly.
thankfully, that's also very close to the
There's
imps.
2 imp. Well, no, there's 1 more imp because one of them is just gone. So
We're
the
just
one
like-
on the right is now you have that target,
Mhm.
and there's one not too far away, like 5 feet away.
So there's still 2, right? You said?
There's still 2. Yeah,
Okay.
there's one on this bigger platform that died.
I will have Copper Dragon Wormling number 1
Mhm.
use. Is there a way so it can move to hit both of them and not
No.
hit the dude? Okay.
So
Then-
let me lay it out for you. There's the giant platform that it looks like this is where boats get shoved off from if you have a tiny little skimmer. This is also where people would do fishing. It looks like this cavern had a different purpose at one point, and then the house was built on top of it. So there's this giant platform. Here's the dude, here's the imp that's left, and then off the platform on the pallet in the water, one of 3 pallets, there's an imp. Okay. So he's like 5 feet away.
Then I will just have them do bite attacks.
All right, roll to hit.
So wormling number 1 is going to attack one of the imps. I'll say the one that's by the dude. And that will be a 19 to hit.
That'll hit. Do your damage.
Where is a D10? This is a D10. With 12 points of piercing damage. I rolled max damage on that.
Your little copper wormling looks up, licks his lips, and just chomps down. And the imp is gone. You see this lump go.
And the other one's gonna do the same thing. Okay, maybe not. That's a 7.
Okay, so your other one has to move to get to the dude. He like slips into the water like a little gator, and he gets up onto the pallet, and it sort of dips a little bit, and you hear this imp like shouting at him in some language you don't understand. However, he does not quite manage. You see him just snapping at the little imp that's floating above him. All right, Leaf, it's your turn.
Ooh,
There's one imp left, and he's being terrorized by your little copper wormling.
Teehee. Teehee. I am trying, and he's like 30 feet away, you said?
Yeah. 35. If you move forward, he'll be a lot closer.
Well, okay, with charm person, would I know, is it if like they see their ally get damaged, or is it if they take any damage?
If it's they take damage.
I'm gonna cast Tidal Wave?
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna cast Tidal Wave.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try to hit the imp and the dude on the lake.
Okay.
So they have to
Arms?
Yeah, we're gonna have to take them out sometime.
Okay.
Yeah? I'm doing it.
You're going after the charm dude? Okay.
Yeah, we gotta take him out sometime. Right?
Well, then if he doesn't die, he drops his, he's no longer charmed. Just putting that out there.
I mean, I'm still gonna do it. He has to, they both have to make dex saving throws.
Okay. Okay, that's a 10 for the dude.
That's a fail.
That's a 22 for the imp.
Damn it, little imp butt. Okay,
I mean, he rolled really well, so.
He did roll very well. Good for him. But also...
He got a 19.
But also rude.
Very.
And they're going to take... 17 points of bludgeoning damage, and he is knocked prone. And
okay.
The imp is going to take half that, but is not knocked prone.
Okay. All right. So you see your tidal wave slam into the guy, and he falls down, but you notice that the whatever was happening to his face, whatever was in his eyes, has left, and he's now fully cognizant again. The imp tries to hide his face from this tidal wave that comes out of nowhere. He does take quite a bit of damage, but he's still floating, and your little lizard's still snapping at him from below like a gator. Anything else you'd like to do on your turn, Leaf?
No, I'm okay.
Okay.
I don't have any good bonus actions right now.
All right, Valara, it's your turn. You see this succubus in front of you, but she is just blank-faced. You see a man on the far side of her. From you, where you are, he's about 20-ish feet away, a little bit less. And he's prone, but he looks like he's come to his senses. And there's still an imp way out in the water.
Okay. What I would like to do is I realize that he does no longer appear to be charmed, so I am going to cast Chromatic Orb, and I'm going to hurl it at him. That'll be a natural 20. It's a hit.
Okay.
And I'm casting it at 2nd level, just so y'all know.
Okay.
And I'm going to go for cold, icy damage.
Okay.
Um,
Roll your damage, double it, and then add any modifiers.
Okay. So 17 times 2 is what, 34? Plus 7? Plus 4 is so 38.
Okay.
Did I kill him?
You hurl this icy
Little bit.
orb at him where he's prone. You see his entire body covered in a sheet of ice. His skin immediately goes incredibly pale, like uncooked chicken. And his eyes are just empty.
Oh, and he's preserved in a block of ice.
He's dead.
Okay. Yay. Okay. And then I have no bonus actions for now. But also because it was a concentration spell, I dropped the bestow curse on Succubus.
Okay.
I think, right? That's how concentration works?
Mhm.
Okay.
If you cast another spell, your concentration ends.
Okay. Does that also work with does that also apply to cantrips?
I thought it was
Just
only
so
if
I
you
know, like
cast-
vicious.
It's only if you cast another concentration spell.
Is
That's-
it?
that's
Then
what
I
I
am very
thought.
wrong. That sounds more.
Oh.
Yeah, then she would probably still have her bestow curse.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
I don't know all the rules.
It's all about
Who
having
does?
Nobody does.
Who does?
I'm having a blast. This is a
I
great start.
definitely don't. I definitely don't know the rules, so I'm glad someone
And that's fine. It's a game.
I have so much fun.
Anything else you'd like to do on your turn, Valara?
Mm-mm.
Jack, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
I say, shout out to everybody. I say, I think it's important that we preserve the bodies and question them in order to fulfill our quest. So I run forward to the creature, the man who was just killed,
Mm-hmm.
and I dump a spare the dying cantrip into him just to stabilize him at 0 so he doesn't fully die in case we need to keep him going. And then I turn and I move my spiritual weapon to the imp, and I'm going to slash it down on the imp.
Okay, cool. Roll to hit.
All right. Give me a good one. That is a 19 to hit.
That'll hit. Kelly, can you please describe how Jacques kills this imp with 1 HP point left?
Oh. Okay, cool. I see this little imp by this like lizard, and then I turn to him and I say, bye. And then I just smash,
bye?
the mace down. Oh, wow.
Perfect. You slam this mace down, and this heavenly, golden, shining mace with a heart head goes crashing into the pallet, and you see it splinter, and it starts to sink under the water, and it's this beautiful glowing image underneath just the surface of the water as it disappears. And you see the copper wyvern just hungry, digging at the remains of the imp that's underneath the mace as this thing just floats under the water and disappears. You are now out of initiative order.
They're going to run up to the succubus and basically like take rope and pieces and like
Uncover her mouth. Okay.
blindfold her,
Okay.
tie her up so that she's not really able to cast any spells or anything if should she come out of, and just be like, this is fun. This is a fun game, isn't it? I'm just going to tie you up. We're friends. This is amazing.
She agrees to everything you say, thinking it's just a game.
Yes, perfect. All right, should we figure out a way to bring the man and her back to the woman? I already forgot her name.
If you don't mind me asking, Daisy, I am getting familiar with all of you, and so I do not know what your skills are yet. But I must say, everyone, I am honored to be in your presence. It's quite impressive, that battle. So thank you for letting me tag along. But that being said, how long does this last?
It should last an hour from when I cast it. So we have a good amount of time left. It's only been a few minutes.
Well, if you feel like you can handle her, I could easily pick up the man. I am quite strong.
If you need any help, Artemis, come here, baby. Artemis can help you carry him if you need. The ice, I'm sure, has made him quite heavy.
That. Well, then I'm going to spend some time looking at the objects that the families all were missing.
Sure. And I believe Leaf has a pretty good list of those. Can everybody make an investigation check?
And don't forget, you still actually technically have the D4. Because that spell is not just dropped yet, but it's about to.
So 14.
Good timing.
Thanks.
27.
13.
29.
Kelly, what'd you get?
Oh, I got a 9. I'm not good at finding small objects with my
That's fair.
big hands.
Jacques, you're a little too focused on picking up this guy who is rather heavy, but enough for you to manage. It's very cold, so you have to wrap him in a couple layers. Valara and Leaf, you're going around trying to find things, but what's most helpful is both of you reading off of the list. And between Daisy and Rufus, you find everything on the list. You find all the items that have been stolen, but there's far too much to carry. There's just piles of items down here.
Can we tie stuff to Valara and to Artemis?
Sure, but there's a lot. It's several families that had a lot of things taken from them, so it's a lot of pots and pans, it's a lot of shoes, it's a lot of random things. You can find, like, the shawl that was very important with the dolphin. You can find...
Turtle.
Yeah,
the
you
turtle,
can,
I hope.
the turtle, yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
I feel like we should take a few of those back and then tell them where the rest are.
Sure. Before you do that, though, with your high investigation checks, you notice there's a lot of very expensive pieces of furniture down here. There's a lot of paintings. It looks like everything from the house above you has been pulled down here. And probably several other houses worth of items have been pulled down here. So you also find about 50 pieces of gold.
Oh. Well, I mean, these should be returned, though, to their rightful owners, the gold. No?
if there's a way to track it down, but I don't believe there will be. This money could be all of theirs.
Because if we say we found gold down here too, people might be like, oh, that's my gold. Oh, but it's my gold.
Could it not belong to the Mr. and Mistress of the house?
Yeah, maybe.
Did anyone report money being stolen, or just I thought it was poor, random, personal, sentimental goods?
Mm-hmm. Nothing terribly expensive except, I guess, this furniture, you know.
How many families were stolen from?
About 10.
Let's give them each a gold along with their
I
stuff.
think that is a lovely idea, Daisy.
And also, can I do a little just round about the rest of the house and see if there's anything worth?
Sure.
Fine. That
You take some time. I'll tell you now, the house is just empty and cold. There isn't a single fire lit. There's lots of marble, gilded bits and bobs on like detailing on the banister. It's all very cold and empty, and especially without a fire on, it just looks like ice.
As Daisy is investigating the house, if Jacques could like get a little close to the succubus really quickly,
Mhm.
and like just kind of try to understand this creature, maybe try to understand where it's from, because it's like very weird looking and strange with the wings, and he's just trying to get his mind wrapped around what it is.
Roll 2 things for me. Roll Arcana with advantage, and then roll Nature.
Arcana. I got a 13 with Arcana, not great. And then
With advantage?
Nature, oh, with advantage, no.
On your Arcana.
Nature, I got a 16.
Okay.
No, yeah, and 14 still with.
I'm going to give her a flash of genius and make that a 19. Oh, I guess I'm not within 30 feet of her because I'm searching right now.
Yeah, you're upstairs.
Yeah.
You get the sense it's not from this plane. You wouldn't know too much about where the succubus is from. With your nature check, you would know they are prone to finding the deepest, darkest, nastiest parts of you and making it all that you are. Even if it's the tiniest sliver, even if it's something you actively work against, they find it. And they make it the only thing that's in your mind.
Okay. So as I investigate, I pull everybody else who is nearby, if Daisy is still investigating the house, and I, pull Valara and Leaf and Rufus nearby, and I say, just so you know, this creature, I am not certain if you're familiar with what it is, but it's not from this plane, and we have to be incredibly, I just went British, we have to be incredibly careful.
I
Do you
say
know what?
bring her to Tamsin as quickly as possible.
Yes.
Agreed.
And we go back to Tamsin with
All
our
right.
objects and with our man and our charmed woman.
Okay, so you, in this very strange procession, go up the stairs out of this little underground cavern, and you alight. You have to squeeze through. It's a narrow opening to get up to where the fireplace is, but you manage to all get out okay. Even you, Valara, though you are very large, being half horse. You step out. Are you going through the front door?
Probably the way we came in, which wasn't it through the back?
Yeah.
And then we saw the hearth down the hallway. Okay. Yeah, probably the way we came in, I would say.
All right. You head out the back. Are you trying to be stealthy at all, or are you just...
Oh, yes. I would try to be stealthy.
All right. Everyone roll stealth for me.
Oh, this is going to be hard for me, everybody. If you want me to be quiet.
Before we leave, could I just do a quick pass without trace?
Okay. It's a little meta, but I'll allow it.
That D8 I have for Bardic Inspiration, would that help me here?
We all still have that?
How long does Bardic Inspiration last?
10 minutes.
Yeah.
But if you roll
Just
a
barely.
1.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
Absolutely not. No.
I'm like, should I even bother?
I'm real unstealthy.
It is a little meta, I will say.
You can tell me now. You're allowed to
I
say
will
no.
let you decide what you want. You're a good D&D player. I trust you.
Well, I guess it would be something that like we would have had to establish before we left whether or not we were being quiet or not.
You did just say you were going out the door. You didn't say that you were trying to stealth. And anyways, Rufus rolled a 1.
I'm just gonna not.
Save your spells. So you head out the back door trying to be stealthy, but Rufus, you've established this is a town that loves you. You have a lot of fans here. And as soon as you step out with your very unique lightning bolt hair, people notice. They also notice you're walking around with a semi-naked succubus woman and a very unconscious older gentleman that a lot of people in town know. So you've gathered a bit of a crowd. They're not saying anything, they're not coming up to you, but they are watching and they're whispering to each other.
I hope she can fix him of his ailment. This is so tragic. We must hurry.
We should hurry. Let's just, nothing to see here.
Hello, everyone. Yes, I'll be coming back maybe next year to do a concert. You know, I'm off right now. We just have to hurry. We have to hurry. But lovely to see you. Lovely to see you. Thank you.
Leaf, are you still trying to stealth? Is that why you told me your score?
I just rolled it because you had us roll it earlier.
Yeah.
So I was like, I might as well tell you what I got.
Yeah, why not?
But if they're like shouting to people, then Leaf's like.
Okay.
Daisy's going to try and kind of be as discreet as possible while Rufus is being distracting.
Okay.
Slide by as quickly as possible.
Yeah,
Sure.
Jacques is not the most discreet, so he is going to be right behind Rufus with a giant man frozen behind him, just saying, "Please don't look at the giant and with the man. Look at Rufus." Haha. Yes.
You notice they're all looking at you, but they're also looking at this topless, very beautiful succubus who's walking with you, and she's just like,
If you got them,
blindfolded
rock
and-
them.
I mean, she does. So are you bringing them straight to Tamsin?
Yes.
All right.
Mhm.
So you head up to the pinnacle of Dunmauger, this giant town. The fortress at the top is fairly empty. It looks like a lot of the guards are on their duties, walking around the battlements. You head inside and you follow the path that you remember. It's not that intricate to get to the arena. And you do so, and Tamsin is in the center, and you see she's training a couple of recruits, and they're going through these motions. It's very obvious that the woman knows what she's doing. She can handle herself in combat. She does a couple of maneuvers where she slams a bow staff down onto the floor, and you can see the mats underneath. They're all made of leather, and they're stuffed, but they're starting to split where she hits it. She's slamming it down really hard. But as soon as you enter, all of the recruits stop and stare. And she looks up as well and dismisses them without a word, just a hand gesture. And they all sort of look down at their feet and disappear off into another doorway. I am glad to see that you are back.
Tamsin, we figured it out. It was these two. Here are some of the items. The rest are in their house. We can point you in the right directions. She is currently charmed. She'll be charmed for about another, I don't know how long it's been, but 40 minutes or so she'll be charmed.
Yeah. Yeah, you haven't spent that much time.
Yes, she'll be charmed for another 40 minutes or so. So we should interrogate her before that stops. And this man, he's on death's door, but he's not dead yet. So if we want to, we can interrogate him as well. So here you go. What you asked, we have delivered.
D'accord. She goes over to a doorway to her left and opens it and calls inside. A young gentleman steps out. He is a tiefling, deep bluish skin, bright white eyes. He steps forward, nods. She whispers to him, and he comes over to you, Daisy, and holds out his hand, and he says, do you mind if I take the reins of this woman from you?
I would like to stay present for
the succubus.
Yes, because I have her charmed, so I don't want
Okay.
no, and you have to be careful because if you
I understand, ma'am. I guarantee you we can take care of it. We have We have dealt with worse things than a single succubus.
All right. Well, okay then. Sure. Go ahead.
Thank you. And he takes her by the hand and leads her away.
Oh, before you go, though, if you could equip us with the things, the rope and the gag that she had to use, because we might need that down the road. So it's
You
great
would
that
like some back?
once you are done with them, yes. So we maybe have them re-equipped.
Okay. I will be back. And he takes her off, looking a little confused, but shuts the door behind him. And Tamsin motions you, Jacques, forward. And she says, would you lay him down here?
Yes. Yeah. And I just drop him down as delicately as possible and step back.
She leans forward and you see her muttering something, and she puts her hand on his chest. And you see just this faint glow coming from her palm, and it seeps into his body and into his core. The ice fades a little bit, and though he looks bruised, he eventually opens his eyes and looks up at her. And he looks dazed, like he's just woken up from a terrible hangover. And he sits up, looking around. And he sees all of you, and he says, well, I'm so sorry. I don't think we've met. Tamsin, what am I doing here? And she looks up at all of you and she says, would you mind telling me what happened with Friedrich?
You had a succubus with you. And you fought us, so we fought back.
He's staring at you dumbfounded, and his giant bushy eyebrows are knit together. He says, I don't know any succubus. Well, I did when I was younger, but
I'm
I'm sorry.
afraid you were seduced.
Seduced? No.
Wrongfully seduced.
I haven't been seduced in years.
Magically seduced.
Magic. Magic.
I have a song called Magically Seduced, just a side note. You know.
I recognize you, yes.
Yeah.
Good
you know,
music.
so nice to meet you. I feel like we can't help it, you know, when we're seduced. Happens all the time.
Why do you keep saying this? I have not been seduced in years. It's
Well,
no.
we've met you.
Could
We've
I roll-
known you for hours now, I would think. And you were trying to hurt us. And it wasn't you, was it, sir?
What was that, Kelly?
Could I try to understand what's hurting him? Could I do like an insight check to try to
Yeah.
understand where his like pain comes from?
Yeah. I'll let you do an insight check.
It's a 26.
Oof. He is very earnest in his confusion. He does not remember being seduced by a woman. He doesn't remember any of you. There's, you know, when you've had a friend who blacked out and you're telling them all the things that they've done, there's just a tiny bit of recognition in him, like, oh no, I remember doing that. But he's embarrassed.
I kind of kneel down, you know, try to get to his level because he's shorter. And I say, Monsieur, I do not wish any harm on you and what you've been through. We all put up our walls in order to protect ourselves from the truth sometimes. But I want you to know that whatever ails you, whatever pain you carry in your heart, I know for a fact the words that you spoke about the refugees were true. And I can tell from your demeanor you carry pain in your heart. So with that, I would really appreciate it if from this point forward you considered perhaps praying to something greater than yourself, or at least believing in something greater than yourself. And I stand back up.
He looks incredibly embarrassed with himself, and as a man of noble bearing, he normally holds himself with pristine posture, but now there's something very pitiable about his form. He's just a portly old gentleman wearing night things, slumped over in the middle of a training hall. And he sits there and he stares at his feet before slowly getting up and he has his arms crossed over him as if he's trying to hide himself. And he looks at Tamsin and he says, "Ma'am, Madam Stillstone, may I get some clothing, please?" And she just motions to a door. Doesn't say any words to him. She just steps back and watches. And without looking at you, any of you, just looking at his feet, he disappears into a doorway off to the side.
I feel a little bad for him.
Don't. He does not deserve your pity, but he did deserve your empathy. And that is something stronger than anything anyone can teach, and sadly in very short supply.
I mean, we did kind of kill him for a little bit.
Well, he does not look dead to me.
Well, he's not dead anymore.
So, let me get this straight. This rather detestable man who has become very much worse in the past month, who, as I understand, may have said some things to you that were against your sensibilities. You killed him, and yet you brought him back to life. Bless you.
Merci.
Yeah, Jacques brought him back.
Yes, but without all of you carrying and helping me to bring him here, it wouldn't have happened.
I hit him with a giant wave.
Yes, I guess you did. But that's okay. It all worked out for the way it needed to, little one.
I was afraid he was going to bring more imps out.
Understandable.
We have some of the belongings that we would like to return to the refugees.
Parfait. I will have someone collect them from you before you leave.
There's more at
but
the
first,
house.
I understand. We will have the house searched. I told you I needed to test you. Correct? I was not testing how strong you were. I do not need to know that. I can tell. I needed to know that you were human. Pardon the phrase. I needed to know your heart. And she goes over and picks up this spear from where it's hanging on the wall. And it's just plain silver. There's very few adornments on this. Every other weapon in here is very fantastical. Like Levon's sword has beautiful engravings. There's some jewels in the hilt. And she comes over and she stands with it in front of you, Jacques. And she says, "My father, he taught me empathy above everything. It's something that is very dear to me. And I hope you keep that empathy with you. I understand there are many adventuring parties that go about and they kill people with no regard for what happens. Many orcs, many goblins, many tieflings, many things that people think are evil. But if you have empathy, you know there is always a little good in people. And those who are empathetic, you can bring it out. And I hope that you remember that. There is always something good in people. It may be hidden, it may be buried, but it is there. You may never see it." And she holds out the spear to you, Jacques. And you can tell her grip on it is very strong, and her knuckles are white. She's very reluctant to part with this bit of her father. And she looks you in the eyes and she says, "You make sure they keep that empathy with them. Even when you see Aurel. Even when you see Aurel.
Yes.
She was not always this way." And she lets it go into your hand.
As I hold it, kind of feel its weight, and really more the weight that she's giving me, I just say, I swear to you, the empathy in my heart will stretch out to others. It's my mission. and I do not carry this lightly. If this is my goddess's will, so will it be. And I look around at everybody in the room, and then I look at you guys and I say, and I carry this all for you. You all have hearts, even if you are from the dead. Maybe sometimes whatever you've been through, you've forgotten what is to have a beating heart again. But I will make it my mission to return you. And so I just put it in my back and I take a step back.
Okay. You're muted, Kim.
And Tamsin, we have collected this gold. Can you see to it that the refugees each get a piece themselves? And Daisy hands over 10 gold pieces, one for each family.
D'accord, I will do this.
I'm afraid that we have a mission.
I know this.
We need to go. Is there anything you can advise us or help us with before we leave?
Yes. In fact, I have been conferring with our goddess, and she nods at you, Jacques, while you were gone. And though it took some out of me, I have had some visions. I have asked her for aid. I need a little more time, but by the time you get back from Essen, hopefully I will have a map for you, and perhaps a bit of a surprise. Something helpful.
All right.
If you don't mind us asking, since I am not as familiar with this area as a little leaf might be, how far away would a trip to SMB and back? Could we do it in a day, in a couple days? So do we need mounts?
About less than a day. Mounts would slow you down.
Thank you.
The snow is very hard for horses. Madam, and she nods to you, Valara. She says, be careful out there.
Do you happen to know if there is a cobbler in town who could make me some custom horseshoes for my hooves?
Yes. In fact, I can lead you to the best one.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
Allons-y.
Perhaps Artemis might need a pair of shoes as well.
Oh, yes, your gigantic metal friend.
Yes, I don't want her to rust over.
Rust? Oh, I did not think about that. Wait. I can do that.
Oh, but it is good to note, it is quite late at night, everybody, since we came here after sundown. Do you think that we'll have time to take rest, even though...
Yes, of course.
Okay, thank you. If you have a place for us, we would be most...
Of course I do.
Thankful.
So, Tamsin herself takes you out of the fortress at the top of the city, and she leads you along the left side of town. And you can tell by the way that people keep running up to her and how children are addressing her, and several people bow, that she's very respected and beloved in this area. And she leads you past a couple of buildings in this market area. She says, oh, this is the cobbler. And she looks at you, Valar, and she says, you tell Colin it is on my tab. He would take care of you. He would give you the best. And she
Thank you
continues.
very much.
Oh, yes, of course. And she continues down, and in the far left corner, pocketed kind of near the entrance to Dunmauger, that big open entrance, she takes you to a tavern. She says, this is the Open Cup. It is one of our best. You tell them again it is my friends, and they will make sure you are put up in the best possible place.
Merci.
Thank you very much.
Of course.
You treat us well. I hope one day I can bake you some good and show you just how thankful I am.
I hope for that day as well. Now I must return to my duties, and I will be conferring with my goddess more. Hopefully I will have more for you tomorrow. Come and find me after you go to Essen. And be careful. I do not know what is there, but I know it will not be good.
Thank you,
And she leaves.
Tamsin.
So, you now have a tavern. You can all take a long rest, regain all your spell slots and your HP. Although I don't think anyone really took any damage during this fight. And we're going to have a quick break. And when we come back, North Essen.
All
See you
right,
all
see you in 2 minutes.
And we are back from break. Thank you all for sticking around.
All right.
We're heading to Essen.
To Essen. So you have a wonderful sleep. Make sure that you've marked off your long rest on your character sheet. And you wake up staggered, but you head downstairs and the landlord has given you a wonderful breakfast spread. There are a couple of other people in this hotel. Not many. It's like 1 or 2 folks. Tourism has kind of died down recently with recent events. But you do get quite a good breakfast. Lots of meats and cheeses and some oats. It's very nice. So, what does your morning look like?
I would go to the cobbler, Monsieur Colin, and I would like to have gotten some snowshoes with the option of little like ice picking cleats that I can strap on to said snowshoes if I should need them.
Sure. Why not?
Daisy's going to go with her and get Artemis equipped with snowshoes as well, but ones that really go all the way up Artemis's legs so that should she sink in, she's
So he's
like
basically, I was about to say, he's basically built her leather waders that are fleece lined. So any water that gets in will get wicked up by the fleece. You know that joke about which way would a dog wear pants?
I don't know this joke.
Yeah, it's a photo that goes around the internet all the time. It's about which way would a dog wear pants? Would it be on his back legs or would it be on all legs just up to the middle? It's up to the middle. So your Artemis has these leather booty kind of things that go all the way up to about her midriff and they're strapped on above the top of her.
I also want to get her something to protect her from snow that falls as well.
Sure. I will say you've never experienced her rusting, so.
Oh, well, that's good. But
yeah.
Anyway, she needs a little coat or something.
Okay. Sure. The cobbler, whose wife is actually a leather worker, they're a pair of halflings. They both work together. They get you dog pants for your giant hippopotamus. They get her a covering. It's like a leather covering. It's not like aesthetically pleasing, but it will keep her dry. And snowshoes with picks for both Artemis and Valara.
Perfect.
Merci.
I must say, I'm not used to working with leather and making things for, giant metal animals, but I'm glad you like it.
It's perfect. Artemis, what do you think? And Artemis does a little dance and shakes her little tail and is showing off her new shoes.
Very cute. Bless you.
Bless you.
Very dramatic things. All right. Do you head back to the tavern after that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. You find your friends still at their table?
I have a quick question for the DM.
Yes.
What was the CR of those spiders that we fought? Those like
the ice spiders?
Yeah, the ice spiders.
Oh gosh. Hang on. I'm going to have to look. Go about your morning routine while I look this up.
Leaf's just eating
So,
breakfast.
Yeah, I'm having a coffee, talking to Leaf. Now, Leaf and Jacques, tell me, when was your first love? Just something I wanted to know.
Leaf takes a bite of bread and then spits it out and then casts Goodberry and eats the Goodberry.
Yeah,
the
Jacques is eating food and he coughs like it gets choked in his throat, like really hard.
I'm just sorry to cause you to, just man to man, I like to, talk about things like love.
So why don't we talk about, your love life instead? I would love to know yours.
Well, it's been a long road.
I don't think I've ever been in love.
Leaf! We have to find you a person, creature thing that you could share your emotions with.
I could have you, I could do a ceremony and make you man-wife or man-man or they-them. I could do it all.
Do you have any inkling of what you might be drawn to?
No?
He'll figure it out. My first love
Do you
was
want a
named
partner? Do you want to marry an object? I can make you marry anything I want. I have a ring for it. If you
I
wish.
think I'm alright for right now.
Do
This
you
is
have
the
anything
weirdest
you love?
conversation if people don't know that you have the spell ceremony in your ring. I have a ring for it.
Oh yes. I see from your face the confusion about my ring. So this is a very special ring, and
Is it a
if
wedding
you
ring?
want, I can. So it's a wedding ring. Yes, it has a spell imbued in it, and I can do ceremonies.
Do all wedding rings have that?
No, this is a special one.
That's nice. Yeah, I was married a few times, I'll never really feel the same way about anyone as I did my first love, Patty. Little girl, red braids, freckles. We ended up getting married. She ended up being my second wife because I went back home to Mozambique. Long story. I think about
Actually, while you're talking about this, you get a beautiful memory that was lost to you in death. And it's you and Lizzie Limestone when you were children. You're sitting on the hill and you're watching a concert. And this is the moment when you turned to Lizzie as kids and you said, I'm going to be a rock star. I'm going to do that. And then it fades. But have another memory back.
What's great is when you have a DM that remembers things like her name was Lizzie Limestone instead of Patty. But that was the redhead with the pigtails, right?
That was, yeah.
Yeah,
That was your
Lizzie
first love.
Limestone.
I totally meant to say Lizzie Limestone.
Yeah, you did. I heard it.
Sometimes I get confused with my wives. There was Patty, Lizzie Limestone. It's very confusing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think about that and I have a moment and I come back and I'm like, sorry, just had a fog there, a fog from the 60s. Just came
So at this point, Valara and Daisy enter and you notice this leather-bound creature with them. stomping around on these what look like tennis rackets on her feet.
That is a nice look.
Is that Artemis?
Everyone, I'd like to introduce the new Artemis, who's gone through a bit of a makeover. Everyone cheer, and Artemis does her little dance. She's very, very proud.
It's Artemis, no Artemis.
Artemis.
I just feel like that's a name, you know. Lyrics is sort of my thing, so I feel like that's not Artemis.
Leaf's just gonna turn to Jay-Z and Valar and say, "Have you ever been in love?" It's what we're talking about.
Yes, I was in love with a boy, and well, I went about it wrong because I pretended to be another boy so that he would be my friend, and then, you know, obviously I was lying to him, and we were very young. It was a mistake. But he moved away, and I haven't seen him. Roger.
That's so sad. Do you remember his name?
Yes, Roger.
Roger.
Oh.
I like that.
No,
That's a strong name.
I believe I already told you about the love of my life, my Demer, my teenage love at the circus. Fellow centaur, beautiful. I don't think I'll ever see him again.
Why? Where'd he go?
Oh, my father sent him away. My parents were very unhappy that we were in love, and Demer had to get back to his siblings, and I tried to find them. They vanished without a trace.
Maybe we can find them after all this.
It happens.
I would love to try.
Aren't rock and roll. They can't get on board with things, you know. Well, yeah.
I guess
As you each stop and think about it.
Yeah, I would just cough and say it. I guess I kind of was in love once, but we can talk about it another day.
Right. Whatever makes you comfy, mate.
As you each think about it, the four of you, excluding Jacques, you feel these memories. And it's a simple enough question. Do you remember your first love? And this warmth floods into you for a moment as you each remember Demer and Roger, or Otto, depending on the time in your life, and Lizzie Limestone. And Leaf, as you stop and you think about, who did I love? You get an image of a giant frog, someone who protected you when you needed it. A father figure when you never really felt like you had one. And you feel a little warmth. And Jacques, with your own memories that you keep to yourself, you feel a little warmth, and you feel almost a sympathetic warmth from your ring. But it fades.
Well,
Sounds like we've all been through it in our own ways. Back from the dead, that have more hearts to love. Who can argue? I wish to take out the spear, though, not that I have slept with it overnight, and like put it on the table so everyone can see it and try to understand. Maybe we can all try to understand what's going on with the spear real quick before we go.
Sure. If anyone wants to try and figure out the spear, roll an Arcana check.
No,
15.
18.
18.
19.
2. Kellen, what was your roll?
18 as well.
Okay. Wow, you guys rolled really well. Leaf, Daisy, and Rufus, as you're all looking at this, you each have your own magical properties. And you each know how to draw on what you know. And as you apply what you know to this, looking for specific things, you notice it's a very simple spear. It's just solid steel. And it doesn't look particularly unique. It looks like just any other random officer's spear. But the three of you, as you're staring at it, you notice very faint, very small colors coming from it. Very, very pale colors. Right from the tip. And sparking off the edge. And the more you stare at it, the more obvious it becomes. But there's something missing. You feel like you'd have to spend more time with this item alone, one of you, to figure out more about it.
It's a simple spear. We did all that work. And now it's here in front of me. It's just a spear. I mean, at this point, I might as well just throw it away. It's just,
No, don't do that. There's something special about this spear, but you know, we have to really something we're missing something.
Yeah, there's something there. It's just, it's just a little harder to see.
Yes, we know it might be magical, I think, from somebody's spell that they once cast, but it just doesn't feel it. I mean, it's been in my hands for at least overnight, and I guess I'll keep carrying it and see if it does anything, but I'm just saying, I'm skeptical.
Do you know how to... Do you know how...
I saw colors.
What?
I saw colors coming from it. I think we would just need to spend a bit more time with it to understand its properties, but there's something quite special about it.
Jacques, do you know how to use a spear?
Oh, yes. I know how to use the spear in more ways than one. Oh, stop. You're a young child.
I'm an adult.
Lara's like kind of cracking up.
I'm sorry. It's just I'm used to working with the children of the orphanage, and you're about their height, and my brain just connects it to it. I'm so sorry.
I've got a mustache now.
I'm not saying that some of the children don't have mustaches. You know, you get very weird children.
Does it start very young?
Well, we should head to Essen. We don't have all the time in the world.
Yeah, I agree.
Perhaps we can examine the spear a bit more on our journey.
Yes, and if I happen to use it, maybe we'll figure it out that way, but I'll carry it and see.
Yes.
All right. So you pack up your things. Do you just head on out?
Yeah.
Okay. With all of your belongings, with your newly acquired winter clothing as well from the last town in 10 towns.
Rope back.
Yeah, it would have been brought to you at the end of the night. You head out the front gate over that giant drawbridge that they had. And you're faced with the town at your back and an expanse of snow ahead of you. You know the general direction you need to go. That as much was told to you. It's just forward, basically. It's a little more than a half a day's walk in that direction.
Right,
So who's leading the party?
I'll lead. I'm excited with my new snowshoes. Breaking those
Yeah.
puppies in.
I can
Sure.
also help navigate, since I know the area.
You do, actually.
I'll ride
you know,
Valara and be like, that way,
Uh-huh.
that way.
Valara, can I be on your back again? You know.
But of course.
Okay. It's just so comfy. You're so gorgeous. You have the new shoes. I want to see how they work. I'm going to take a ride.
All right. As you now have Rufus and Leaf on you, the shoes help to distribute your weight because they give you a little bit more surface area. But with the added weight on your back, you kind of sink into the snow a little bit more, but you're still staying on top of it. Leaf, will you make a survival or nature roll? I'll let you choose with advantage.
Ooh, advantage.
Because this is an area you know.
kidding me? I just rolled 2
Oh.
5s. So that would make either roll a 9, whether I used survival or nature. So
Oh,
a whole 9.
Give her a flash of genius, so at least it's a 14.
okay. All right, with the flash of genius and your 14, you are a little bit blinded because the further out you go, the more snow is coming down. And it becomes a snowy mist. You know, on very heavily snowing days when you really can't see very far in front of you and it kind of blinds you. This happens to you, and you notice as you are going forward, there are footprints in front of you. And you stop, Valara, and you look at them. And there's a weird crosshair pattern to them, and you recognize them as your own footprints. You've gone in a little bit of a circle, but you managed to get back on track. You've wasted about an hour. The rest of your journey to North Essen is uneventful. It's just snow. Every once in a while, a tree will come out of that fog of snow and pass you by. You don't see any spiders. You don't see another creature. And eventually, the sun begins to set, or at least you think it does. You can't see the typical oranges and warm hues of a sunset, but you do notice it's getting a little darker and a little colder. And near the end of the day, the sun has almost completely set. There's this pale blue purple twilight. You see ahead of you a dark shape in the snow. And it begins to let up. And eventually you can see the ruins of a village. It's dead silent here. Just a very faint whisper of wind in your ears. You're all very cold at this point, but you're fairly certain you've reached your destination. This town was very small. Again, it was about a population of maybe 60 people on a good day. And all of these small shacks, which is basically what they are, they're shacks, are caved in and destroyed. And you see from here something in the center of town. Can you all roll perception checks for me?
21.
I got the
14.
9.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Okay, all right. So you notice that in the center of town, there's something. You can't tell what it is. However, Leaf, Valara, and Rufus, as you're looking, there's a dark shape there that is very large. It looks like maybe a boulder, a huge boulder that might have come down from the peak above. And you're snug. This town is very snugly placed right against a mountain side. It just juts up right on the other side of town, right to what you now know is a mountain called Snow Skirt. It's the biggest mountain in the area. And you know, not too far away is where people do a lot of ice fishing. So this town is probably just a small fishing post, essentially. The town has been all but wiped out. But the three of you who rolled so well, you see the faint glow of something tall and pale. Pale, pale blue. And you all remember very vividly because it's the last thing you remember. A giant pillar pointed at the tip of pure ice. But this thing in front of it, this boulder, it's huge, it's massive. Because you all rolled so well, you can tell very subtly that it's moving.
The boulder's moving?
Dark shape that's the size of a boulder is moving.
So I sort of whisper to Rufus and Leaf, who are on my back. that looks very much like the very last thing I remember. A very tall, upside-down icicle, if you will.
Yeah, I
And
remember that.
are my eyes playing tricks on me from snow blindness, or does that boulder seem to be moving?
No, it looks like it's moving.
Yeah, it's not one of my trips. That is definitely moving.
It's moving. Yeah.
The boulder is moving subtly. Have you seen one of these spires before?
In my visions, but not in person.
Yeah.
No.
Right before I ended up in Plains of Penitence.
Really don't want to go back there. Daisy, does this look familiar to you?
I don't think Daisy saw a Spire, did she? She was thrown into ice, right, Rachel? She was thrown into an ice, like, orb. It wasn't a Spire,
Wasn't it?
was it? Oh, I saw it. In my head, I imagined it looking differently, but
As you think about it, you remember very vividly, Daisy. It was a small temple that was ruined on the outskirts of town. You knew it was a place that was dangerous, that you shouldn't go to, but you knew that was where Nigel had been taken. And you remember going through this temple, seeing things on the wall, carvings, something you very much remember. A carving of a figure that you met. And you pried this green emerald brooch that you still have on from the carving.
and then I was thrown into a Spire. I was thrown into something icy.
You were shoved like backwards into it, so you didn't see it, but it did happen.
Well, whatever we do, let's try not to slip or anything around the spire. The last thing I want is to end up back in the Plains of Penitence. I like eating again.
I have a feeling whatever this is, it is moving, that we might be up against something, especially with my vision that in the stories and the quietness of Essen, we should prepare ourselves. So I would like to, for 3 creatures here, whoever would like the emboldening bond again, I think it could be safe. Oh, Rufus, you'll very quickly raise your hand. Okay, let me, emboldening bond sometimes doesn't require a light shoulder massage, but it is stronger if I give it to you, so.
Yeah, I am really quick. You see, I raise my hand because, I'm an older gentleman of this
Yes.
group, and,
Let me just embolden you. There you go.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Does anybody else want to? I have big verbal hands. I might crush some of you, but
I will take something. Sure.
okay, Daisy. And I just do a little chop chop.
I took some last time, so Leaf, you go ahead.
It's emboldening banded one. I'll just use my fingers here. There you go.
I'm very small, and you've got very large hands.
There you go.
Can you remind them what that does for them?
Yeah. So as you guys receive that, it's just going to be within the next 10 minutes. So whatever happens in 10 minutes, you'll want to use it. You're bonded. While any bonding creatures within 30 feet of one another, so between you guys, once per turn, you can roll a d4 and add it to an attack roll, an ability check, or a saving throw.
Okay.
And you said this is limited to 3 people, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Just making sure I'm not passing up a free D4.
Either is an
Every
attack,
turn.
a save, or
Ability check.
ability.
And per turn,
Once per turn.
if we were in the mission. All right.
Thanks.
I feel emboldened and bonded.
There we go. There's a little bit more with the spell, but I'll save it for later if I ever need to use it. Shh. Don't worry. I got you. I protect you. Don't worry.
That exciting.
All right. So
By the way, this is from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, and it's really cool. So I just want everyone to know it's the new book. It's really neat. Anyway.
So as you're doing this, a couple of you look ahead at the village, and a gale blows by, and your vision has been coming in and out because this snow has been sort of ebbing and flowing. And as it obscures your vision for a moment, it then ebbs a little bit and it disappears, and you can see again, and this boulder has straightened up. It's very tall. It's much taller than you, Jacques. You can't quite make out the full silhouette, but it's huge, whatever it is. And you feel below your feet a very faint tremor. Periodic.
Do I feel like it's evil?
You have no idea.
Do you think it's a good idea to try to sneak up as quiet as possible?
We can try to get a bit of a closer look.
Yes.
Remind me again, do we need to destroy this spire? What are we here for again?
We need to destroy the spire.
That's what I thought. Okay.
From Jacques' vision, you know this is where the undead are coming from.
Okay,
Well, we need to
something
somehow
else.
we need to somehow disable it or make it melt, something, just so there are no more undead.
And this spire is also, the boulder is the same thing as the spire?
No, the boulder and the spire are separate. The boulder is a dark shape that's been moving, and the spire is just a giant thing of ice that ends in a point, and it's ice.
How
So
far away are they from each other?
you can't tell from here because you're still pretty far away.
Let's keep going.
Do we want to sneak up and get a closer look?
Probably
Or
be careful on our way.
while we are at a distance, if we are trying to get rid of the spire, perhaps I could fireball it and try to melt it from the top down.
How far
Should
away?
should I keep back? I am very not sneaky. I just don't want to
Yes.
disturb anything.
I
We'll
can
see
help.
what happens. Okay, it's a range area up to 150 feet.
You are way too far away for that.
Right. It's just as we're still approaching, right?
I mean, if
The
you're still
spire.
moving,
Where are we exactly?
you're in a snowfield, and ahead of you, you see the dark shape of a village. There's a spire in the center and some giant moving thing. You are not close at all.
Yeah, we're
I thought
not.
we were
To
in
my
the
knowledge,
village.
you stopped.
Never
and you were-
mind.
Oh, I
I
thought we
mean-
were in the village too. I was
No,
Yeah,
you're
for some
still
reason
you're
I thought
still
we were in the
way.
village.
You saw. So what I said was that you were like moving through the snow, and you kept going in and out of your vision. And ahead of you, you barely see the dark shape of a village, and you can tell that it's destroyed. And those three of you that rolled really well because you have better vision in the snow for some reason, you noticed in the center of the village, far away, which is why I had you roll perception.
Okay.
You're still way far away.
Okay.
Let's get.
approach.
Go on.
What'd you say?
I
Lee?
said go on.
Yeah, let's approach then and try and be stealthy as we get closer to the village.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we do.
Okay.
I would like to stand back. I do tap Leaf on the shoulder. I say, if you're not going to do the shadow thing, I am very loud. So I'm going to
Oh.
remain at a distance because I do not want to risk anybody's jeopardize anybody's.
I will. I'll
security.
just do it when we're a little closer because we're still pretty far away. It
Yeah,
only
sure.
lasts an hour, so I might as well wait a little bit, you know?
Okay, I trust you. I just want you to make sure you know. If I have to, I will drop back.
And I'm gonna hold pass without trace until we're like 20 minutes? 30 minutes outside? No, 20 minutes outside of town. And then I'll...
Okay. Yeah, you're about a half an hour away walking. You go ahead and drop that.
My
S-
DM,
Yes.
Jack is going to be looking out for something just for the security of everybody here. If there's any bodies that look like they have recently died, he is looking around for those as we're walking forward.
Okay, make an investigation check.
Okay. Oh, that's not bad. It's 12.
Okay. You are keeping an eye out as you get further and further in. You see some dark shapes way, way ahead of you, but with a 12. As you're walking along, you kind of step in a bit of a V shape, and you feel something under your foot. And you look down, and laying on their face is a solidly frozen body. It looks like, from the way they're laying down, that they were running away from something. You can turn it over. It's a young human male, and there's a look of fear on his frozen face.
Okay, so right when I catch this body, I go, everyone, over here, quickly, quickly. And I try to get everyone to stop and just quietly come towards me. And I say, I'm going to, overnight, I had prepared something just in case. So if we have any questions for the corpse, we'll have a little bit of time to talk to it. Ask you questions and see if it knows anything about what we're going to face or what we need to do or how to get rid of the portal or whatever it might be. Okay? Wait, good.
Sounds like a plan.
Let's do it. And so I cast very delicately Speak with Dead and try to reanimate the corpse just to have a very simple conversation with. We only get 5 questions. But
okay. You cast this spell, and he's kind of frozen with his hands up like this, like he was crawling away. And his mouth is open and his eyebrows are knit together. His eyes have just gone white. And it looks like all the moisture has gone out of his skin, so he's just sunken. And his hair is like pulled back in a way that looks like maybe there was a blast to the face at some point. But he, like this, just sits up. And slowly his arms, you hear some cracking as the ice that has formed on him breaks at his elbows, and he moves his hands down, and his hands are still frozen in this like clawing motion, but he puts it down in front of him, and his mouth closes, but his eyes and his eyebrows keep that look of fear.
Sorry, young one. If anybody here has a question, there are 5 of us, so why don't we all get a question and ask it what's on our minds. So whoever wishes to go first.
Yes, I have a question. What are we up against?
It starts to try and move its mouth, but its lips are very frozen. And eventually it moves enough that it loosens the ice on its lips. And it says, in this rasping tone, like someone who hasn't used their voice for a very long time or whose vocal cords are damaged, says, I didn't see.
Okay. What did you feel?
Fear and pain. And you see it kind of moves its hand towards its back.
It might have been shot in the back by something.
What did you see?
Ice and bodies.
Voice is creeping me out.
What can we do to
Creeping me out.
Thank you for this information. Is there anything that you could, any last words before we lay you back to rest?
Run.
Yes.
I think we have one. We only have one more. I've been keeping track.
Oh, sorry.
That was
No,
your
no,
fourth
we were
question.
limited.
That was our first
Okay.
question. Hey, Rufus, real quick, you and me. Do you have anything on your mind?
I have lots on my mind, but with this guy, you know anything it's sensitive to?
It's a good question, Rufus.
I don't know what hit me.
Okay.
And I believe that was your 5. And with that, it releases a long, rasping sound as the air deflates from its lungs again, and it slowly lays down backwards, and it's staring at the sky, and its mouth is open again, and it is still once more.
I will try to properly bury if we leave alive. I'll carry him back. I will. Well, it looks like we are up against something that's quite strong. Thank you for letting me do that. I hope that was informative, at least in the non-answers we've received.
Get us from behind, you know. We've got to keep our eyes peeled everywhere.
Yes, I have an ability, just so everybody is aware, if I get close enough and there are many undead around me, do not be afraid. Okay?
All right,
Well,
shall we get closer to town then?
Yeah.
Okay. You start to move into town. Are you trying to stealth at all?
Yeah, I had cast Pass Without Trace.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then I need everyone to roll stealth.
Ugh.
What does Pass Without Trace add? A D8?
A 10. It just adds straight
10?
10 to whatever you roll.
I'm gonna go ahead
Oh,
and use my
sweet.
advantage right now.
Okay. Okay.
And use
Oh,
a different
God.
die for this.
What are we rolling right now?
Stealth,
Stealth. So, okay, so we roll.
and you have a plus 10
Ooh!
to whatever you roll.
And also
do we
your
get
regular
advantage,
plus?
or it's not advantage, it's just plus 10?
No. Yeah, it's just
Okay.
plus 10.
Okay.
Yay.
Do you also add your regular?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
add your regular
Yeah,
stealth.
you're rolling
modifier.
stealth. Yeah, you roll stealth, and whatever you get, you add 10 to that.
Okay.
It's a nat 1.
Oh no, I also rolled a nat 1,
Oy.
and that's why I used my advantage.
Ah!
And so
Fuck.
now my stealth was 29.
30. Not
21.
28.
And then Jacques.
Does anyone have that flash of genius thingy?
I don't think I'm allowed to use it
You
on
can't use it on a nat 1. All right. As you're moving forward, you all feel like you're being very stealthy. And then there's Jacques, who is so focused on the spear because Daisy said there was something special about it. And you're looking at it and you're like, this is just like a steel spear. I've seen so many soldiers in 10 towns that have this. It's nothing. And you look up. You feel these tremors underneath your feet. And Jacques, you're the one that realizes what it is. Because you're standing out in the open all of a sudden. You look up, your friends are gone. They think very much that you're with them, that you're behind them, and they've stealthed off into the town. But Jacques, you look up, and what you see is this gigantic dark figure. You're looking up at someone for the first time in your life. And it is a someone. Or it was. A massive, undead, frozen frost giant turns around. Behind him, you see the glittering ice spire. You have this spear in one hand, and it looks down at you with its dead, frozen eyes. There are icicles and frost forming on his beard and mustache, and he opens his mouth. You see his crooked teeth, and he lets out this low groan.
Ah, Zutalos.
And we're gonna roll initiative.
Ah.
Oy.
Oh, that one.
But we don't add the 10 to this.
No,
Got it.
that's not for initiative. All right.
19 for Valara.
Okay,
Speaking
Leaf,
of
what did you
10,
get?
Can I? Oh wait, no, I can't.
Leaf, what did you get?
10.
10.
So I said,
All right.
speaking of 10.
Daisy,
initiative.
what did you get?
8.
8. I'm trying a new thing on D&D Beyond. Rufus, what'd you get?
13.
13. And Jacques, what did you get?
Strong 7.
Strong 7. All right, let's start this initiative counter. Valara, you and the rest of the crew have stealthed off to the left. You saw this figure. You saw, as you got closer, it's vaguely humanoid. You still can't quite make out features, but every time it moves its foot, you feel a tremor, and you know almost surely it's giant, whatever it is, quite literally. You've all stealthed off to the side near the village, and you put your hands on the wooden creaking side of a building that's been caved in. And you look around, and you notice Jacques on his own, several feet behind you, out in the open, accidentally left behind.
Shit.
Hello, everyone? Where are you? Is this a big giant? It's undead. It's,
Okay,
Valara, what would you like to do?
I cast Bane on whatever this giant is, which I assume I'm seeing from behind. If Jacques is facing
You see the
it, and
side
I'm
of
facing Jacques.
So
Okay.
so Jacques is here. You guys are here next to the village, and it's dead ahead. So you're like at an angle to it. And it's turned to look over its shoulder at him, so you're seeing it like the front of it. What's the range on Bane? Because this is in the center of town.
30 feet?
He's a little further away than that. Actually,
So
make a perception check for me too.
Okay. 21.
And the 21, you notice in between this frost giant, this undead frost giant, and the ice spire, looks like there's a little shrine of some kind. Very old, very, very worn. Little small stone. It's almost like just a tombstone. You can't tell what's on it though.
Okay, so just so I have a clear picture in my head,
Mhm.
we're near the caved-in, dilapidated building inside the town. I looked behind me, and at an angle, I see Jacques staring up at this giant. And Jacques and the giant are right next to each other?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay. Where's Jacques in relation to the giant?
Jacques is behind you. So he's about 65 feet away, and you guys are about 50 feet away from it. It's dead ahead in the center of town. So here's Jacques. Here's you guys in the center of town, way ahead of you. This town is small in terms of town size, and it's ringed around the center. So it's a bunch of houses, and then whatever's in the center, which looks like it's this small shrine.
Okay.
Doc is behind us, but the ice monster is in the center of town.
In front of you.
How many feet away from us?
50-ish, like I said.
And 65 from him.
Yeah, because he's some feet behind you.
But he just sees Jacques. He doesn't see us.
Because Jacques rolled the one.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. Theater of the mind.
So yeah, I know it's
It can be a challenge.
Yes, a challenge. Okay, so I'm just going to walk towards this giant so that I'm within range.
What's your speed?
And 40.
Okay, yeah, you can make it. How close are you getting?
I have Rufus and Leaf on my back still with me. I get just within range. So if it was 50 feet, I
just
walk
getting within
20
30
feet forward.
Okay.
Yeah. And I cast Bane on it.
Okay.
And I would also, so I'm also moving closer to the temple shrine.
Sure.
Okay. Can I see anything more about it? Like what deity or?
It's very hard to see, but make another perception check.
Okay. This dice has been so good to me. Another 21.
Another 21.
Good dice.
I need those ones.
Honey, what color?
You can't see anything on the shrine because it's very small. What you do notice is a sun-bleached horse skull that's been placed right at the foot of it.
Okay. I'm noting that, and I whisper over my shoulder, I believe there's our skull there at the shrine. I don't know if you can see the shrine from your vantage point on my back, but there's a shrine.
Okay.
And
So
there's our skull.
At this point, you have done what's kind of 2 actions worth. You have done a perception twice. You have done your action, and you've turned back and whispered to them. So this round, I hope it's fair. You won't get a bonus action. And
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay. All right. Rufus, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
The Bane that she had.
Oh, the Bane, up to 3 creatures that I can see, of which I can only see the one giant, has to make a charisma save. If the target fails the save, then it has to roll a d4 and subtract the number rolled from any attack or saving throw.
Is that on its turn or just now?
I'll read you the whole thing. I think it's just its turn.
Yeah,
it
that's
just
my
says up to 3 creatures of your choice that you can see within range must make charisma saving throws. Whenever a target that fails the saving throw makes an attack roll or a saving throw before.
Gotcha. Then I have to do it now. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, well, that was a nat 20, so.
Oh, okay. Not baned.
All right. Rufus, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Add a little. Okay, so I'm well within the 60 feet of this, so I'm going to, just all of a sudden I like start rubbing my lightning bolt, and and the other side. I don't know why, it just feels good after that massage that Jacques gave me. I'm really in touch. And I want to cast at the 4th level Mind Spike.
Okay.
Which is a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
The mind of the creature, whatever the giant thingy is.
Uh-huh.
And he has to make a charisma saving throw of 14.
Okay. Let's see how he does. Charisma? Ooh, no. He very much failed that.
Hey! A wisdom saving throw, yeah.
Oh, a wisdom saving throw.
Yes,
It's still a fail.
Okay, so that's great. That means that wow.
Uh-huh. What you
5d8.
doing?
And I said I did at 4, so
5d8? All right, let's do it.
it is, mother of God, 8. No, 9.
So you do 9 points.
3 ones, a 2, and a 4. What a biatch. Anyway.
It's better than nothing.
Better than nothing. All right.
Can I also know your location?
Huh?
I also know his location, not that he's invisible, so it doesn't really
Yeah,
matter.
you very much know his location.
It's an epic, and it just wasn't.
It was still something. Hey, at least you did some damage. At least it wasn't a 1. So, Rufus, that is your turn.
That's it.
Leaf, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna take a little look at the sky. Looks a little cloudy. I think a storm might be coming in. I'm gonna lift my arms up and start swirling it around and cast Call Lightning.
Okay. Call that lightning.
So deep beep 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 deep. Da 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 da. What does it have to do? Oh, it has to make a Dex saving throw.
Okay. This bolt of lightning comes crashing down. It's an 11. This hulking creature is unable to move very quickly.
Great. So it's going to be struck by that lightning, and it is going to take. Wait. Yes. Yes. Where's my other? There it is. Okay. Sorry, I couldn't find all my D10s. I only need 3, but I still couldn't find them. 10 points of lightning damage.
10 points as this bolt of lightning comes out of nowhere from the sky, crashes down, hitting this giant in the back, and you see the veins of black lightning going across its back. It looks like it didn't even feel it.
And Leaf's just gonna just sit there with his little hands up, just concentrating.
Okay. Leaf, that's your turn. It is the frost giant's turn. He's going to move forward until, with his speed, Valara, Leaf, and Rufus, you're at his feet. I need you all to make a con saving throw.
Don't forget the 1d4, if for those who need it, once per turn.
I rolled a 16.
I'm gonna need that D4, not that I think it's gonna help. 9.
18. With the D4.
All right. Valara and Leaf.
Wait, I'm going to Flash of Genius, Leaf.
Okay.
Make it 14.
Valara and Leaf.
Damn it.
For your next round, you feel completely numb from the cold. There's a cold coming off of the giant itself, and because it is so close to you, you feel it full blast in your face.
Ugh.
Your next turn, you cannot take more than one action and one bonus action. You have to choose.
Okay.
One action or a bonus action?
Yep.
Okay.
Because
What?
you are numb.
What is this frost giant? Is he wearing anything?
Patchwork. Pretty much.
Is he yielding any weapons?
Yeah. You see in his other hand, he has a giant axe. But it is still his turn. He reaches down, fingers digging into the dirt with his free hand. He pulls up a clod of stone and dirt, and he's going to hurl it at the one person he saw first, Jacques.
Oh, this is fun.
With a 26 to hit.
Oh, yes, that will hit me. Very much so.
You're going to take 28 bludgeoning damage as this massive group of rock and stone and dirt and snow goes flying at you. To clarify, he is not immune to lightning. That is not at all what I said. I can see your chest.
Trying to figure out why he wasn't affected.
You don't know?
No, I thought that even if someone has a lot of hit points, they feel something. I guess not.
No. I mean, don't worry about it.
It's a good thing to clock, though.
He has another attack. He has one action left.
He has 3 attacks. Ugh.
An ability.
No,
right?
he has an aura and 2 attacks.
Yeah.
Now you know why I really wanted you to have your cleric for this fight. Daisy, as one of the only ones who is not right in front of all of them, can you make a con saving throw?
Yep. That's a natural one.
Oh.
Oh, Daisy. Okay, I'm not going to take the number that they gave me. I'm going to be charitable and I'm going to roll it. And hopefully I'll roll lower.
Oh my god, drop the dice! This is killing me.
Never mind, I'm going to take the number that gave me. You're going to take 35 points of damage, but because it's a 1,
Hmm.
I'm not going to double it. Even though it is a 1, I'm not going to double it.
Good.
But
Phew.
you are going to take 45 instead of 35. So another D10 on full.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
You and those ones, man.
Oh, I know.
Not
I was
feeling well
gonna
today.
cast shield, but I can't. That doesn't even matter for this because I rolled. It was a 1. That's a shield for my AC. It doesn't even matter. So okay.
Okay. So you all see this giant with its milky white frozen over eyes and its heavy frost-ridden eyebrows looks down to Daisy, and you lock eyes. And you see this strange light going quickly, very pale electric blue, from its eyes to Daisy's in a flash. And Daisy, you feel like you've been in the cold for months. You're frozen. You feel cold deep in your throat, all down into your belly. It goes through your entire body. And you all notice this. So, that is its turn. Daisy, it's your turn now. What would you like to do?
What should I do to myself? I am going to I'm going to Can I cast rope trick and climb up there?
Sure.
In 1 turn.
Because you would be casting it right in front of you and you weren't hit with the aura, I would let you specifically cast it and then climb up.
Okay. Just so I have a little protection because I'm not doing so great. Daisy's like, I'm about to die. So she is going to cast rope trick.
Okay.
And climb up the rope into her little. So Daisy casts a rope that just appears in front of her. And there you can see there's like a little portal, and she just climbs up it and gets inside. And with my bonus, am I allowed to have a bonus?
No. Bonus was climbing up the rope.
Okay. And then I pull the rope up. Or that's
okay. So you just disappear into this pocket dimension and the door's gonna close behind you?
I mean, I can drop the rope if I need to.
Is that how the spell works?
Yeah, well, the spell, I'll read you the spell. It's you touch a length of rope, it goes up 60 feet. An invisible entrance opens to an extra dimensional space that lasts until the spell ends, which is an hour. The extra dimensional space can be reached by climbing to the top of the rope. The space can hold as many as 8 medium or small creatures. The rope can be pulled into the space, making the rope disappear from view. Attacks and spells can't cross through the entrance into or out of this space.
Okay.
Those inside can see out. So I can see out as if it is a window centered on the rope.
Okay. I'm going to say if you do this, even though you can see out, you can't communicate out.
I can't talk out?
No.
Oh, no.
Because you're in another dimension.
Cast spells.
Yeah.
Ooh, maybe I shouldn't do this then. I thought I could talk out. That's not fair. Okay, then I'm not going to do, can I not do that? I didn't understand that about the spell. It doesn't say you can't talk in or out of it. It just says spells don't work in and out of it.
Okay. I will let you retcon this.
Okay. I've never used a spell successfully yet, so I haven't figured it out. I still am learning. I'm trying new spells today. So we're not going to do that.
Okay.
Instead, Daisy's going to be braver than that.
Okay.
And, or maybe not that brave. She's going to cast Cure Wounds on herself.
Okay.
At a 2nd level.
All right. Do that healing for yourself. And if you've done that, then you have a bonus action.
Yep. Let me just do this. Eight. Okay, 13 points healed. And with my bonus, I mean, Artemis is gonna go and try and chomp the giant.
Sure. Yeah, have Artemis roll to hit. As she runs on in there, and it's very close. So she closes the distance very, very quickly.
Yes. Okay, Artemis. Do your thing, girl. $23 to hit.
That will hit as she plants her teeth right into its frozen ankle. Do your damage.
It's gonna take 8 points of damage.
All right. 8 points of damage to this frosty, no good son of a bee. All right, Daisy, that is your turn. Shock, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
Okay. I quickly look to everybody and I go, we should split up and get outside the aura. So that way it's only one target at a time. And so I like kind of draw back as far as I can just to create space for myself, but still remain idealistically before I move backward. Within, I think I want to keep it at least 60 feet of the creature.
Easy.
Great. Let me just double check. Yeah, 60 feet. So I pull back however much I can. I'm gonna do the old spiritual weapon and then the cantrip cast, and this time I'm gonna cast Pull the Dead since there's a little damage on him. So
nice.
Spiritual weapon, the Mace of Grace comes up, tries to swing at him.
All right, roll to hit.
All right, let's see. I just made that up and I like it. So it's
the Mace of Grace.
Mace of Grace. Yeah. Okay. It's 20. Oh wait, I have to roll the hit first. Oh my god, that's only 11.
It will not hit, unfortunately.
Okay, so swing and a miss with the spiritual weapon, but with Told the Dead, he needs to make a wisdom saving throw of 16.
Okay, I can almost guarantee he'll fail unless he rolls perfectly. Yeah, he failed.
Awesome. And because of the damage taken, it's a little bit more.
So
it's going to be, that's not bad, 17 points of necrotic damage.
17 points. You all hear these ethereal, deep bells ring out as Jacques points a finger at this giant. It sounds like a church, but you don't see one.
Time for you to go back home, as I point.
Go back home. All right. Top of the round, Valara. You have only one action or one bonus action this round because you are frozen. Well, numb.
So 2 questions. How far away am I from the giant and how tall is it?
Like 10 feet away and very tall. I don't have stats, but he's a full-on giant. Let me view details page. Hang on. He's a big boy. I can tell you that much. Oh, it doesn't even say. Giants are very large. I mean, you look straight up at him.
Is he taller than 20 feet?
No, not that tall.
Okay. Okay, and then who's nearby him?
You and the 2 on your back.
Okay. All right. Can I make a movement still?
That would be a full action at this point because you are numb. I think. You know what? No, I'll let you move. You can only take 1 attack or a bonus action after that.
Okay.
But I'll let you move.
Okay, so I move back as much as I can, all numb, and I tell Rufus and Leaf, close your eyes, and I cast Fireball right at his head.
Okay, you send a hurling fireball straight up. Is that a hit? I think it's an auto
dex save.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a dex save 15.
Oh, he rolled very poorly, thankfully. All right, do your damage.
Okay, let me roll.
I love a fireball.
And I'm casting it at 3rd level, so that's 8d6. So let me roll these dice.
I love it.
8, 10 plus 10, 20, 15. Wait, 10 plus 10, 20, 29 points of
29
damage.
points.
I love me
So
some fireball.
Here's the thing. As you cast this gigantic fireball up, you illuminate the surrounding area.
Yeah.
You see in this bright, beautiful golden orange light the ruins of the town very clearly. You see the snow that's falling melt, and you get sort of a rain for a half a second. You see your friends, and you see bodies everywhere. About 50 total.
Okay.
Not
Are
moving.
they okay, good.
Yeah, not moving.
Yet.
Not moving.
Okay.
Make a perception check for me. Since you were the one that did this, I'll let you perceive.
Okay, 21. Guys, I'm not kidding. This D20 is like my best friend today.
Keep it. I love it because then I can tell you stuff. I love it.
Okay.
The bodies are not dressed like the undead soldiers that have been coming out of the Spire. They're dressed like villagers. They have warm clothes on, some nice dresses.
So presumably victims. Okay.
All right, but nicely done. Nice use of your numbed action. All right, Rufus, it's your turn, and because Valara moved back, you're no longer numbed.
I was never numbed because I had that crazy high.
Oh no, that's right. You did. You rolled very high. Never mind. Leaf. On your turn, you're no longer numb. Rufus, what would you like to do on your turn?
So how far back are we?
How far back did you move, Valara?
I moved just to be out of his range, so I think I moved back 20 feet.
Sure. Then you're 20 feet away.
Okay. Great. Are we still in the aura?
You don't know.
Oh, great. Well, I would like to cast Witch Bolt.
Okay.
At 4th level because I want to keep it coming.
Hell
and,
yeah.
And I guess that's for all the hit, yeah. Oh God, which one do I use? 18.
That'll hit. Do your damage.
4d12. Please don't be a 1. 33.
33 points of damage. You shoot it right at his face where he's already singed and burnt from that. And you notice all of the frost that had collected on his beard is gone and replaced with black singed ends. And his face has warmed up just a little bit, but you still see the cold pallor of death on him. But any frost that was on his face is gone. And you aim it right at the exact same place where he's burnt and charred. He has some black edging on his face because of the fire damage.
And I keep that connection.
Nice. Remember the amount. Write down the amount that you did, because with Witch Bolt, you can also maintain the amount of damage.
God, was it 38? What the hell was it?
33.
33?
Write it down and circle it.
Okay.
I always forget. All right. Leaf, it's your turn. What would you like to do? You are no longer numb.
Amazing. I'm going to keep concentrating on my lightning. On each one of your turns until the spell ends, you can use your action to call down lightning in this way again, targeting the same point or a different one. So
All right.
Concentrate and just keep poking it with my lightning.
Sure. I think...
Do I have to make another damage roll?
I think I have to make another dex save with that.
Probably, yes.
It's a 15.
Dang it, it needs.
It
still has to take half, right? Yeah.
Okay. I have no idea. You tell me.
Yes, half as much on a successful one.
Okay. All right, give me that damage. And
10 again.
10 again, so 5 total?
Yeah, it's gonna take 5
Okay.
that time.
Okay. Your lightning bolt zaps near him again, and it hits the ground near him, but you notice that some of the black veiny damage spreads along his ankle. All right. Any bonus actions?
No.
Okay. It is the Frost Giant's turn. He is going to turn to look at you, Rufus. And you see...
Is this now where I can do a reaction?
What is your reaction? Depends on what it is. Shield would help if this was an attack with AC. Instead, it is a DC con save. So I need you to roll a con.
Well, that's just great.
And
Do I
don't forget
still
it's
have
a new
bonus?
turn, so you still have the 1d4 if you need it.
Okay, so I'm just making, okay, so con save. And then I have to roll the little sorry. What is it? What's the little fall guy? Oh, great. Great. 20. Dirty 20.
All right, good. You see this light begin to gather in his eyes, and you look away, you tear your eyes away just in time to see it right into the snow next to you. And it leaves this trail of, it looks like water that froze on its way into the snow next to you. Failing that, it is going to scoop up some more snow and rock. Actually, no, it's not going to do that because I'm a merciful DM. Instead, with his free hand, he lets out this roar that is broken off by long frozen vocal cords, and he is going to swipe, this time at Leaf, who has been maintaining a lightning bolt on him and damaging him consistently. So, Leaf, this great axe is going to come down on you with a 20 to hit.
Yep. Yeah, that hits. That certainly
So you're going to
hits.
take 25 points of slashing damage as this great axe soaring above Valara's head, managing to only hit you despite the fact that you are A, seated on Valara, and B, right next to Rufus. It slashes down the front of you.
Should I make a con save to see if that breaks my concentration?
Yes, you should. Yes, you should.
I rolled a natural 20.
Oh, then you're fine. You know what? With that natural 20, because I don't like to let a 20 go to waste, add a d4 on your next lightning bolt.
Ooh, thank you.
Yeah. I love a 20. I want to. The only time I don't give a 20 something extra is if it's an initiative, because what are you going to do? All right. That is its turn. Daisy, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
I am going to cast Heat Metal because I'm angry about what he did.
Mm-hmm.
Leaf on his great axe.
Okay.
So
Nice.
any creature in physical contact with the object takes 2d8 fire damage.
Okay, roll your damage. I'm going to roll to see if he manages to keep it in his hand. Oh, well, he rolled very well, so...
So that's 11 points of fire damage.
All right.
And let's see. And then until the spell ends, you can use a bonus action on each of your subsequent turns to cause this damage again. If a creature
Okay.
is holding the object and takes the damage from it, the creature must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or drop the object, which he did.
So if it's con specifically, let me look. Oh, yeah, he is a good con. Never mind.
If it doesn't drop the object, well, it did drop the object, so it doesn't matter.
No, he didn't drop the object.
He didn't?
No. He rolled really well.
Oh, well,
And he has a really high con.
well, if it doesn't drop the object, it has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks until the start of your next turn.
All right. Anything else you'd like to do with a bonus action?
With my bonus, Artemis is gonna take another bite out of him.
All right, roll to hit.
18.
An 18 will hit. Do your damage.
Oh, it's just going to be 5 points of damage.
When she chomps down, this creature who is singed and covered in this black spiderwebby pattern of lightning damage, she chomps down and takes a full chunk out of his leg. It's dry, withered skin, and you can see bone underneath and what was, at one point, probably muscle. It's still standing, but it is very, very damaged. Jacques, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
Okay. Well, my spiritual weapon's up, but before that, I look around and I say, "Is everybody doing okay? No one close to death or anything like that right now?" Yes, no?
Depends on
I'm good.
Just keep as strong as you can. And then I'm going to use my spiritual weapon, knowing that everyone at least is okay-ish for now. See if it swings and hits for 14.
A 14 will not hit, unfortunately.
Okay, then I just like look at the spear in my hand and I'm like, so what's the point of this? I'm going to use it. And so I'm just gonna toss it and see if it hits this creature. Because I just want to see.
Okay, roll to hit with a dex.
Okay. Dex, or should I use the equipment of spear?
Dex, because you're throwing it. So it's
Oh, okay.
acting like a javelin. And it is a
Okay.
ranged weapon, technically.
Do I add my bonus for my range weapon and spear?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. It's a d20. So if I add my normal hit bonus, that would be 16 to hit.
A 16 will hit.
Yes. Cool.
Do regular spear damage.
Sweet. Hold up. 8 points of damage.
8 points of damage. You send this spear flying and it sticks into the hip of this creature. It howls and looks down at it. Still standing, however.
I did my best. Told you it was just a spear. And then I just like try to move a little bit, maybe to the left or the right if anyone's too close to me. I just want to keep this.
Sure. All right, we are at the top of the round, round 3. Volara, it's your turn. You are within 10 feet of this creature. Can you make a con saving throw?
Yes. Ooh, that's just a 6.
You are numb for this turn, and Leaf and Rufus, on your turns, I'll need you to make these as well. You can only take one attack or one bonus action.
All right, so I'm gonna cast Hold Person on him. So he has to make a Wisdom save to beat 15.
Okay.
He has disadvantage on ability checks and attack.
Does. Good, because that first one was a 17. And that one is much worse. Yeah, he definitely fails that with a 6, I think.
Okay, so then he's paralyzed for the duration, which is up to a minute.
But hang on. I am curious because Hold Person, does it specify what creatures you can use it on?
Yes, it technically wouldn't be a giant because it's not a humanoid.
Yeah.
Oh, giants aren't humanoids? Oh, okay.
They're huge creatures.
I was thinking if gnomes were humanoids, then a giant would be a humanoid, but okay.
It's because they're within, humanoid is also, I think, like a size range as well.
All right, then I will not cast Hold Person. He's gonna get another fireball.
Do it.
Okay, so a dex save against 15.
Right. I mean, with a 9.
Ooh, okay. So 8d6 again. Let's see here. So 3 plus 6 is 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15. So 15 plus 16, 22, 25, 28 points of fire damage. Again, to the top of his head. I'm trying to like decapitate him. So it's like kind of more at his neck now. I'm trying to like burn his head off.
Okay.
Just for visuals.
Oh boy. Okay. Valara, seeing your friends hurt so badly,
Yeah.
knowing this creature can do a butt ton of damage and a bunch of weird things, you channel all of your strength into this fireball and you send it hurling into his face. And this orb of fire lingers there for a moment, the flames licking up the side of the shoulders and over the head. And when it fades, you see scorched, very few fragments of skin, viscera coming out of the eyes and the mouth of a skeleton head. And with that, the frost giant falls on its back with a thunderous sound, and it is cold and quiet again. And we are out of initiative.
Where is that spear? Let's poke it.
That was scary. That was scary. That was very big, very scary.
So happy we're alive.
That was
how
impressive.
far away are we from the spire?
You're like 15 feet. Or
I
no,
would
he
like-
moved towards you, so you're like 25 feet.
I shall get this spear as well as you are all talking. But I told you I was not special.
Either way, perhaps you could spear him where his heart would be to make sure he's dead and not just prone and unconscious.
I think he's dead.
Wait, dead.
You pull the
Okay.
spear out where it's lodged in its hip.
I'm gonna cast Create Bonfire, but I'm gonna cast it right next to the spire.
You do so.
Ooh.
Just let
Spire doesn't melt.
Let me say, these hips don't lie. Oh, just severe.
You know, Doc, I wonder if maybe, just to try, we go to the spire and stab it with the spear.
It is fire. If you think that is what I should do.
I mean, there's something about it, but you say it's nothing, but I don't know. We should at least try it.
Yes, but before that, does anybody need some healing, or should I just at least make sure we are all okay? Yes.
I could use a healing.
Okay.
I could also use some healing.
So whoever needs it, it's up to 3 creatures, and I'm sorry, but I also need it for myself.
I don't.
So
I don't need any.
whoever needs it.
No.
Okay. I'm gonna take a moment, just cast Aid at 4th level, which is gonna give all of us 15 points of healing.
Right.
Which I desperately need. And then I'm gonna do what Rufus was saying. I'm gonna walk over with you guys.
All right. You all come up to this giant ice spire.
I'm lingering 30 feet back.
Okay, never mind. Who all's going forward? Rufus and Jacques?
I'll go to see if my bonfire did anything up close.
Okay, what was Daisy doing?
Daisy's keeping back as well with Artemis.
Okay.
With
So for Leaf, Rufus, the two of you, since you're getting up close to it, you feel something very familiar. It almost feels like you've been here before, but you know you haven't. And when you look inside the ice, underneath this crystalline surface, you see faces, very faint. Not necessarily human, shifting constantly. And you know you've seen this before. You've seen this in the laser. That red laser in the afterlife that was going up into the sky, out of the plains of penitence. You saw these shifting faces, these shadows of people. And you remember Rowena had told you they were souls that were being catapulted into the wrong place. And you see them shifting around, very, very faint, inside of this pointed ice pillar. And the bonfire is doing nothing.
Well,
This is something very weird, isn't it?
I drop bonfire. We need to do something about it.
Doc, do you want to try the spear?
But there are like faces in here, and I mean, I saw some of this in the vision, but I don't understand.
So
Perhaps they need to be released.
these are well, from our experience in the planes of penitence. These are souls that are being sorted or being not sorted and put in the wrong place. So I feel like we have to destroy this thing.
Or can you do like
marriage?
like a funeral sad ceremony? Are there sad ceremonies for the dead people in your ring, or is it just marriage?
No, Leaf, that's a very good idea. I can try that. Yes, of course. Let me attempt to see if my balanced heart works. So I'm going to use one of the charges of my ring of ceremony and try to do a funeral rite with the spire. Usually it's just with the corpse, but I'm going to try it with the spire.
Yeah. What does your funerary rite for your goddess look like?
So yeah, Jack has to take a moment probably and get out his satchel and like pull out some of the herbs and the sort of local gatherings that he's had for a while. And depending on how large the circumference of the circle is, he'd want to make sure the whole thing has been blessed or touched.
Sure.
He would take that like blood red water that was in her basin and like take sort of like one of the pines, like pine leaves that he has, and like use it kind of like as a toss, just to make sure that it's all doused in the corners with the blood of her. And then he would take a moment and kneel, and then before he did this, he would turn to all of you and to say, just for security, I don't think it's good that you're close to this. I don't want to jeopardize any of you.
Take a step back, stepping back. I keep moving back to get in line with the others.
Leaf's gonna stand near the horse skull because it reminds him of the Seert.
Make a perception check for me, Leaf, as you're going to stand by that shrine.
18.
You turn to look down at it, and there's a carving on it underneath some writing, and the carving is very simple, but it's a figure with a horse's skull and a long robe. And on the shrine, on the tomb, you see Levon's name.
Levon. It's Levon.
Jacques, you channel your goddess. After preparing the area, you all, just very faintly over the cold that's numbing your noses, you can smell these herbs. They're all very warm and inviting. And you can tell there's a little something extra going on, the fact that you can smell them from this far away. Jacques, you sit down, you close your eyes, and you commune with your goddess, and you ask her to help you in this task of laying all of these souls to rest. Everyone that's looking at Jacques, you can see he becomes flushed, like he's very warm. There's a bright blush covering his face and his fingertips and his ears. And Jacques, as you're communing with your goddess, you begin to reach out and try and feel all these souls that are in there. And oh my God, there are many. There are many souls in this one single spire. And you get just a traffic of noise. You can feel almost every single soul in there, and it's overwhelming. You sense all over the spectrum of alignment. You sense some of the most vile souls you've ever felt in there, but you also sense good people. People who should not be together in the afterlife. People who don't deserve to be shoved in with horrible, evil things. And slowly, this warmth that you feel inside of you radiates. And as you guys watch outside of Jacques, the faces begin to disappear. Like faint whispers of smoke that just go away until eventually there's nothing left inside. Just a spire. But it is still there.
And then I like open one eye and I look up and I look back and I go, did it work?
I mean, I think the souls are gone.
Blanca. Mon Dieu, well done. And I just looked at the rest of you and I say, sorry, Leaf. I was in deep meditation. Did you say something?
Yeah, it's our friend Levon. And I'm going to point to the shrine.
Jacques, when you look at it, you notice the symbol of a god that's almost long dead, that isn't really revered as much as he used to be, sadly. A lot of his followers have kind of died out. But it's someone you know. It's someone that works very quickly with your goddess. You recognize this figure. Someone who balances the afterlife.
Oh. Is it the seer? Is this the symbol?
Yeah.
Oh. Interesting. Well, why would Leon's name be here?
Levon, he is the new Seat.
No, he's the old Seat.
The old Seat, right. The new one's
Oh.
lady.
Yeah, the new one's Lawen.
Yeah.
Perhaps you can try the spear on the ice.
Now all the souls are gone. Good catch on that.
Yes, I mean, I will try, or at least with this strange shrine, attempt to understand. So I guess I'll do what they say and see if the spear interacts with the spire or the shrine.
Spear and the spire?
Sorry,
Yeah. So what exactly are you doing with the spear? Just holding it out and waiting for...
I think in kind of in a comical way, he'd hold the spear confused, and then every instruction you guys throw at him, he'd do. Like, what do you guys want me to do? It's just a stab it. Okay.
Stab
Yes,
it. All right.
Stab.
All right. With that, you take Bear Stillstone's spear. Very plain, very cold, just steel. And you stab it into the ice. And as you do so, Jacques, because it's in your hands, you feel a vibration. Like a tuning fork. You hear, all of you, this hum, deep and low, and somehow high and breathy, like birds. And though the spear is not moving, you hear this sizzle as the point begins to dig into the ice, something hot burning into ice, and yet you're holding it. You know it's cold. And sparks begin to fly from it of every color. Bright pastel sparks coming off the tip, and the tip begins to burn white. It glows. And as you stick it through to the very edge of that point of the spear, all of you hear a crack. And like glass being shattered, the entire spire falls in a huge, huge heap, and it sends snow flying in this tidal wave around you.
You know what? I knew you were good with a spear, and I knew it was in that tip.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
The magic in you.
I imagine that I'm covered in snow and just my head stuck out because it all fell down around me. So I guess I'd spit it out and be like, yes, I do know what you mean. I do. And now that I know you're not all children, let's talk about it. Yes.
And on that note, with your first spire destroyed, we are going to end this episode.
Thanks so much for tuning in. Thank you, Wizards, for the sponsor. And tune in next week and see what happens. Maybe we'll get an Spire, hopefully.
Who knows?
I'm Kim Doherty at Kim Doherty.
I'm Erica Fermina, everywhere at A Style Pixie.
I'm Alice Gretchen at Alice Gretchen.
And I am Kelly Lynn D'Angelo at Kelly Lynn Dang.
Oh, I'm Kellen Coleman at Kellen Coleman.
I'm Rachel Seeley at Sunny Seeley. Thank you for joining Girls Guts Glory Risen.
Bye.